Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Wounded to Mend series with me, Mokete Moetela. Today, we'll be talking about the imposter syndrome. Anyone can suffer from the syndrome, from businesswomen, businessmen, celebrities, anyone really. Today, I have Mrs. Mabore Sithole. I call her Sesi Mabore, so I'll be referring to her as Sesi Mabore throughout the interview. So Sesi Mabore is a seasoned human resource professional with 23 years in corporate, with 9 years of those were at executive level at companies like Fraser Alexander, Otis, Sasol, and the latest being Anglo-American Platinum as the former head of human resource development and transformation. She did a lot of work around personal development as well. She founded Full Potential Consulting as a vehicle to drive her moonshot to create a virtual development hub that will develop a new breed of leaders, 1 million in Africa, that are ready to respond to the changing world by 2025. The Full Potential Campus will serve both individual and organizations, focusing on micro-learning, virtual reality, augmented reality, adaptive learning, and shared learning. Sis Mabore, welcome to my show. How are you doing?
I'm great, and you? And thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no, you are the relevant person to talk to about the imposter syndrome because of your work that you are doing in transformation and developing women in particular. Mm-hmm. So what is the imposter syndrome?
Simply put, the imposter syndrome, it's an internal feeling that one experiences that says I'm a fraud, the things that I've achieved I don't deserve, and very soon people are going to find out that I am a fraud.
Yeah. So now, what causes it? What causes this?
I think it's a number of reasons, but I think the main one really is around upbringing. If you grow up in a family that values high achievement, it puts a lot of pressure on you as a person to a point where you don't feel good enough. So the more you achieve, the more you feel like, hey, maybe this time I got it by luck,
Okay.
and you continuously self-doubting yourself because of just how you were raised. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that answer. So when you talk about upbringing, I'm thinking of the apartheid system, the segregation, the oppression. Our parents went through that, all right? And they are raising a young person like me or even younger. And they were raised with the mentality that, no, this is for white people, or sections that were actually designated for white only, blacks only. Okay, now you're growing in your career. You are now starting to, through transformation, something that you are a champion in, you are going higher and higher. You now get to the boardroom level, you're a board member, but you realize that we are not as many blacks as, you'd wish, to feel comfortable, to feel like you belong, and your base or background, you come from the history of blacks only, whites only, So the imposter syndrome, then what happens there? Can that also accelerate it, or what do you think about that?
Definitely. I think, remember, imposter syndrome is about you feeling like I don't deserve to be here. So in a situation where some of us grew up during the apartheid era to the latter part of it, without giving away my age. So we've had a little bit of experience. And I think the apartheid system really, and any form of slavery, is dealing with your mind.
Yeah.
So, for example, some of us now, rightfully so, through transformation, we're getting more opportunities to advance in corporate and business. The truth is, you will feel like you are not good enough. When you're sitting in that boardroom, for example, I was in a team of 8. There was 8 of us, and I was the only female in that team. I was the only black, and I was the only one without a prefix of a doctor or a professor or something like that. So continuously I doubted my contributions. If I do something and it's successful, I'm thinking, is it just because I'm black and I'm female that they're listening to what I'm saying? It's not because of my capability.
Yeah, I see. So now, we're still going through the phase of first black in what, the first black female in so and so. And that could mean that maybe transformation is not happening fast enough, so there are women who are still finding themselves being and we celebrate that. It's a good thing that someone is in the year, we are being represented. But now, when you're talking about the Sabbath Syndrome, it gives me an impression that these people are under pressure then on top, in the boardrooms where they are represented. We are celebrating them here. Tell me about the experience,
And I think Serena Williams also spoke about that. Most of those first black female to do this, first black person to do this, they have a serious challenge of living up to the expectation. That's the first one. But at the same time, dealing with who they really are. At the end of the day, I'm just this black female coming from Luwahomu, and now I have to live up to this. So they do suffer a lot of imposter syndrome, I think. And I guess the trick is being aware of it and knowing how to deal with it.
Yeah. Okay. So now, when you say that, I remember a friend of mine, he was raised with everything in the palm of his hand. And he went into corporate and he managed to get himself the successful definition here now in the township or in the village. You've got a car, you've got an apartment, everything is going so well. You've got a life cover, So now the successful factors, our measurement. Yeah. So now, I think he was looked over during a promotion. He thought he's competing, he will get it, and he didn't get it. And Jiggy, he gave up his job. He went into drug addiction, but he could not tell anyone what's going on, And as we are talking now, I wonder, could it have been an imposter syndrome? Or does he think I should have fought harder? Maybe I don't belong here. Why are they not seeing me at this level? Why are they not choosing me? Could it be it? Is someone going through that? Should they now check themselves to say, am I not playing music in my head that is not supposed to be playing here?
Well, I think in that instance, it's a number of things. Imposter syndrome being one of them. But it could have been, other issues around entitlement, because I grew up getting everything, so I must get everything. But so as I say, it could have been the combination, especially if you've accelerated and you are suffering from the imposter syndrome, but you also have this other, entitlement mentality. So that combination will send you straight to depression.
So now, I want to talk about full potential and mentoring and coaching young black women, even older one anyway. What made you, go into that space? So
I grew up in a small farming town. My parents were teachers there in Marble Hall. And it's a small township.
Yeah, I know Marble Hall.
Probably the people that were accomplished there were my parents and some of the teachers and the nurses.
Yeah.
And that was about it. I was in class with some of the highly intelligent people who today, when you look back, nothing really came out of their lives. And the more I engaged at that level, it's not only in Marble Hall, but I mean in the areas that we lived in, the families that we are in, I realized that lack of motivation, lack of inspiration, lack of exposure. People think this is it. Just here, you know. So that's why I went into the personal development space. And then the more I, worked with people, the more I realized that obviously from the transformation background I have, females, acceleration of females, it's happening at a very, very slow pace. And I am passionate because I think female have the greatest leadership attributes to take us forward as a people. So that's why I went into that space initially. And I invested a lot of time and effort in coaching and mentorship. I run 2 mentorship circles, young females mentorship circles. And I do also coaching. I recently started, focusing more on coaching. And my moonshot, honestly, from a full potential point of view, is to make sure that every African child has access to development. It doesn't matter where they live. And I'm working on a short-term target, I guess, of 1 million by 2025.
That's a short-term target in your definition. No. Goals. Okay, so now talking about potential, believe, as a young black woman, how much must I believe with the limitations that are out there in the corporate space or in the business space as a young black woman? Am I even allowed to go wild, or I must take it one step at a time? Believe my potential of believing. How much must I believe? How much is enough? How much must I hope for?
So the Bible says all things are possible. Not some things or other things. All things are possible. As long as you believe. So when as Mokete, you need to first know, this is me. This is why I'm here on earth. And I will not go until I achieve my mission. And then you put plans and you continuously believe. You will not believe if you don't know who you are. You spoke about believe in corporate. Okay, I'm a different breed when it comes to that, because I think, who said we are all born to come, go to school, and then go to university, and then go find a job? Is that all that we came here for? Remember, every child that is born here on earth is here to solve some problem for humanity. That's the purpose. So now, why must we now go, all of us, go corporate? I have nothing against corporate. I grew up in corporate, and I really appreciate the experience. But if we can think broader, that's where the belief come in. Because you start connecting with your purpose. And when you do that, you even feel it inside. You thrive because you know who you are. When the imposter syndrome comes, you affirm yourself and say, 1 million people. I mean, when I put this goal, something said, Mabur, Africa.
1 million.
1 million.
Such a big
you
number.
Think you are? I said, I am Mabur. And I am here for the acceleration of human potential. And I'm going to do it.
And when you said it's a short-term goal, I said, you saw my eyes. I was like, it's a short-term goal. That's big. That's big. So now let's talk about, you're a parent yourself. And a young, black child is listening to us in the rural areas there, or anywhere, because we do have, parents who are absent, even if they are living in the same house. this child, I believe I can make it. I believe that I also can, impact 1 million people.
Yeah.
In 2025. So now, but the parents, how do you convince them? How do you tell them? What do you do? I'm still in high school or at tertiary. I want you to talk to the parent.
Yeah. Okay. I think maybe that's a better view.
Yeah, I want you, because the child, she's getting it right. She has the right motive, the right goal and drive. But the parent, you're still dependent. By the way, we are
as long as you're in my house.
Yes, you're still dependent. Yeah.
So I think the challenge for parents is because they grew up in the time where we were all oppressed mentally. So we never really knew what the world can offer.
Yeah.
So the world is changing, and I'm saying this to parents. In 3 to 4 years, the kind of qualification that our children are getting are going to be obsolete, because there'll be new jobs that we have not even started training our children for. So when a child in this day and age say, Mom, when I study best when I have my headphones on and I'm listening to music. Believe them. They are not like us,
Yeah.
So that I think that's, so even with the other things that they want to do, support them. Do not channel your child that the only thing you can do is, so that's that. But also, maybe I want to also encourage parents that look beyond the traditional way of doing things. These days and age, it's more skills that is important than the qualification. I'm not saying education is not important. Education will always be important, hence you get the skill. But let's focus on skills than the qualification.
Yeah, okay. So, Sis Mabori, you were in corporate, and then now you are running your own business. I want to be the imposter now. Who did you think you are to leave corporate, a security job, you are guaranteed salary, probably with benefits, to start your own young black woman from Limpopo? Who do you think you are?
Well, it's because I'm Mabor.
Yeah.
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 So I think I've known from when I was young that I am destined for greatness.
Yeah.
And I used to verbalize it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what greatness was. But I said I'm destined for greatness. And I think this was the greatness that I'm destined to be touching people's lives.
Yeah.
To be assisting black people to accelerate, to be who they are supposed to be.
Wow.
So yes, it's because I think I am me. And I guess being in corporate for so many years has given me the right experience and exposure, to navigate.
Yeah.
Because this is another challenging world. Being in business is not an easy thing. But with the experience that I have, I think I will be able to navigate.
Wow. So now, former head of HR, transformation coach, and amongst other things, do you have a coach yourself?
Yes, I do.
And I'm coming to this thing, do I need a coach? If you have a coach, then coach for man. Why must I have a coach? Do I need a coach? Must I have a coach? I can make it more. I just work hard, deliver on time and speak for myself, go HR, why do I need a coach? And do you have a coach yourself? It would be interesting to know.
I do have a coach and I have a mentor.
Oh, okay.
And these are different people and they serve different purposes in my life. And I believe that everyone, because I'm here for a reason, there was a provision for me to be able to achieve that.
Oh, so okay. Wow. Okay. All right.
Including assistance of a coach or a mentor.
Oh, okay.
So
why
must you have a coach? I think in my view, everybody must have a coach because a coaching process helps you to think through what you are wanting to achieve. So there's a difference between a coach and a mentor. Their roles are a bit different.
Okay.
So a coach assists you in thinking through what you want to achieve or the problem that you have by asking you the right questions and making you aware. But it's your process, and you have to think about it, and you must invest a lot of time in that. A mentor is somebody that has been there, done that, in that area where you are.
Okay.
So then they can help you navigate and tell you, you know, for me to get there, this is what I did, this is what I did. This is a door I can open for you. This A coach won't do that for you. A coach will help you go through, scientifically, go through a thinking process to get to your outcome.
I see. Okay.
So I believe spiritually, a coach or a mentor or a sponsor, in corporate now there's what we call a sponsor, is a provision, is God himself helping you.
Oh, I see. And you know what? You are right. After so many years of, I grew up killing that child with potential. And then I got stuck along the way. And I know very well that I was suffering from the Imposter Syndrome. But I only discovered when I joined the development program where there was mentorship and coaching and all that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known. And I have businesses that failed. And they only failed after somebody said, you are doing well. You're going far. Your product works. This is beautiful. I kid you not, after a month, I've lost interest and I'm telling myself, I don't want to do it anymore. And then when I was doing a development program, I joined Stretch School with Lebone. I realized, damn, I was just sabotaging myself. And I didn't know. When you say that coaching, mentorship, this is a provision from God to help you carry out your mandate, actually. I really, really resonate with that. You know, I wouldn't have started this show had I not, dealt, with those things. Oh my word, you are right. I'm just confirming that, and it's actually sinking in people. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be where I am career-wise, even just to stay and, carry myself with pride and deliver at work. If I had not went through a personal development program, to discover who I am. Wow. Okay. Wow.
That's true. That's so true. Yeah. And I think I'd like to encourage everyone to invest in a coach. It doesn't matter. I mean, you're in business, you're working, you are, whatever you're doing, have a coach.
Yeah. Do you think we should have coaching for parenting?
Yes.
Because,
So when you go to a coach, I mean, there's different types of coaches, but one of them is you go there with a challenge. So you could be having a parenting challenge.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can have somebody that, you can go to somebody that mainly focuses on parenting.
Yeah. Because I am a divorcee. And here I am raising a child. Can I
stop you there?
Oh, okay.
You are not a divorcee.
Oh, okay. What
that is not your title. Why are you? You're not a divorcee.
Wow, I love that. Okay, yes.
You went through a divorce.
It ends there, people. Okay, I'm reintroducing myself. Okay, so I went through a divorce, and then it ended. Continuing with life, and then now I had a challenge with managing my daughter and a relationship with the father and me moving on, and I'm talking about coaching with parenting because I didn't want to damage the child, how I handled the whole thing. And I wanted to make sure that even in the future, I build the child right. And I had to get help. I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it the way I saw my neighbor doing it. I'm not going to do it the way I saw they were doing it on TV. I need help. I designed a program for my own child to say, how do I handle this? And the outcomes were amazing because it was different from what everybody told me to do. You know, so I'm asking that because I realize it's becoming important actually to have, even if you're not going through a divorce, just a normal setup. You know that your belief systems, you don't know how to handle a child who behaves like this.
So if you can just look at generation gaps.
Yes.
So our children now are what we call Gen Zs.
Okay.
And then you are millennials.
Yes, I just know about this Gen Zs. I don't know.
I'm a generation.
Oh, okay,
X.
Gen Z. Yeah, okay.
So this generation, this definition, it's not just definitions. It's because of the acclimatization during the time you were growing up. So the things you believe in, the things you want to drive. So we're very different. So
Yes,
I think there is a need to focus on parents, especially parenting the Gen Zs.
Yeah, wow.
Because Gen Zs are not gonna do the work that we used to do.
Yeah, I know, right? I see my daughter, she's...
Gen Zs, the doctors, the doctors of tomorrow. They're not going. There probably won't be a surgery where you go, you say, open your mouth. No, you will come here with a data, whatever, a report, because your fridge will have sensors. Your toilet will have sensors. Everything will have sensors, and all that sensors, they tell you, this is probably your state of health.
Wow.
You send that to your doctor sends you for blood, and then they come with a diagnosis. So things are changing drastically.
Yeah.
So if we want to raise our children the way we were raised, we are doomed.
And there is an element of imposter syndrome when it comes to parenting, because you have this child who's doing so well, maybe in robotics, maths, or even just arts. And you're like, who does she think she is? Or who do I think I am, raising a child who's like, this is not possible. And I will not be able to comfort her. She's going to fall. They're going to disappoint her. So then you get this temptation to hold the child, to say, no, don't dream too much. Don't dream too big. You know, we just, no.
So I think we need to do something around parents.
We do.
There's a huge need around that.
We do, yeah. So, Sis Mabore, what can we do now, as we wrap up this conversation? What can we do? I'm a young professional myself. How do I then manage the imposter syndrome? I'm very optimistic. I want to go up in life. I want to grow this big business. But there's still the voices that says, you're going to fail, or when I get it right, I just somehow lose interest and sabotage myself. What can I do?
So there are a number of things that one can do really to deal with the imposter syndrome. The first thing is to know who you are. I think that's the first thing. I encourage everyone to go through some sort of personal development to firstly understand who they are. What is my identity? What is my purpose? Because those will help you to affirm yourself each time.
When the voices
come, you are able to say, this is who I am, because I know who I am. I've worked on who I am. So that's the first thing. The second thing is being open about it. If you now know that, you know what, I go through this kind of challenge, be open about it. Talk about it. Because what the imposter syndrome does, it's an internal voice. It doesn't want you to verbalize it. When you verbalize it, you defeat it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
So talk about it, obviously with people that you trust. Thirdly, self-care, the concept of self-care, self-love. Because you know who you are, you love yourself, you take care of yourself. And I think lastly, I can say, know your capabilities. So that when the voice comes and say, who do you think you are? You say, I am a personal development specialist. I help leaders to achieve what they need to achieve.
Wow. Thank you, Sis Mabore. As we wrap up, I'm reminded of Auslebubule's words. She says every time the voices come into her mind, she knows that it's time to accelerate. When it says, who do you think you are? She says, let me tell you who I am, baby. And we are going to run with this thing and succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Mokete Moetela. See you next time.